Green, green, green.
All right, good evening and welcome to Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. I'm Jack Dodson, and this is the Florida, South Carolina legend, Scott Allen.
Hey, we had a blast out there.
And I'm not saying anything bad about Gary Osborne, but you know, I mean, I know he's really, really happy that you went, so he had a chance to win. He had a chance to do something good in the race.
Those guys had checked out there for a little while, and I did catch them a lot sooner than I didn't think I had a chance to catch them, to be honest. But I think 3 to 5 laps in, I was running second for a little while until I got off. I'm trying
to figure out now. Gary goes down there and he sets on the pole. I think it's what, second or third time he's done that.
Yeah.
And he ain't won nothing yet.
He's finished third both times.
I tell you what, that sounds something kind of funny there. But anyway, I'm not going to say nothing else. I'll let it go at that. Talk about racing from this past weekend. Around most of the tracks were closed. Clary's was rained out. Both of their Friday night and Saturday night was rained out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was.
Dominion ran their late model race. Our buddy Sergio Pena won the late model race up there.
Yes, first time back in the late model with.
Well, it's second time. He ran earlier in the year up there once.
With
Sam Beatty.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he wins the race at Dominion. Pretty close race from what I understand. Nick Smith led the biggest part of that race.
Mm-hmm.
But down in Hickory, the Cars Tour was in Hickory, North Carolina. The super late model winner out of somewhere in Canada, Raphael Lassard.
Don't know him.
He won the super late model race, and Josh Berry won the late model race. And believe me, there was a whole lot of argument after that one was over.
Oh, really?
Supposedly I forget who. I think it was Deke McCaskill or somebody like that. He run over at the end of the race to win the race, but you know, it's kind of like the trucks race.
Oh yeah.
The other night, the truck race was.
William Byron said thank you.
Yeah, and poor old Ben Rhodes. I mean, he got called Bozo. He got called every name in the book by Johnny Slaughter. I understand they've talked since then because I've talked to Kevin and they've talked, but somewhere along the line, I think
I'm sure somebody over the radio was saying, "Look, we brung our friends."
So I'm not really sure where that's going to end up at the end of the thing. Clint had a good run in his truck. Wasn't what he was looking for. I think he's just looking to have a good race somewhere along the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Cup race, Kyle Busch checked out on him at the end of that race and won that one. Man, I tell you what, Martin Truex Jr. had them covered the whole race. I mean, he was out 3.5 seconds every time he got in front, and then they go in the pits and leave a tire loose, and that messed him up. And of course, you know, NASCAR went hard on that tire rule. They ain't gonna play that game with them no more. So
yeah, I understand. Well, I was listening to the racing replay, and they said that there were either a lug nut or something was stuck between the wheel and the rim, or the hub and the rim. So
it was a loose lug nut. I talked to somebody.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Down there. It's Blake. I talked to Blake about it. It was a loose lug nut. He felt it he said he felt it as soon as he took off. He knew what it was.
That sucks.
And he had to drive all the way to the bottom of the track, all the way back around to the pit. And of course, then he was 2 laps down by the time they got it fixed, and he got him back out there. So I really hated that.
But he's just seemed to have had that kind of luck, though.
This is the third time he has led the most laps and had been a dominant car.
Well, didn't he do it last year at Kentucky?
Kansas.
Kansas, yeah. I mean Kansas.
Yeah, he led a lot last year at Kansas, and that was pretty rough. I mean, that was pretty rough on him. I got to say that was more than I could have stood right there. He was a whole lot better. Took it a whole lot better than I'd have took it. I tell you that.
He's a little used to it, I think.
And again, the Hendrick cars were out to lunch again this week. Chase came back and got a top 10 out of it, but he was never really in there most of that race. And then Jimmy Johnson had problems. Casey Kane fell back. Dale Earnhardt wrecked.
Mm.
So I mean, it's they didn't do a whole lot. And again, them Gibbs cars were.
Those Gibbs cars are on point. I mean, on point.
And Kyle's truck wins the truck race.
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't nothing but a Gibbs association there with motors and everything they get from TRD. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know if they are getting TRD motors. I'm not sure, because I know in the beginning, Kyle said that Gibbs wanted too much money for his motors unless Toyota started giving him motors.
I thought it was a TRD guy standing there with them, and they were.
I mean, it might be now, but I know a few years ago, before they kind of allianced Kyle Busch Motorsports with Joe Gibbs, that they were doing pro motors or somebody, because it was too much. I might want to turn that ringer off.
Yeah, you might be right.
And what about? I'm just going to have to say it, but what about this whole Teresa Earnhardt deal?
I don't understand it. She needs to let it go. Carrie Earnhardt is an Earnhardt. I mean, I don't understand why she's so concerned about the Earnhardt name in that regard. But
Tracy said the 21 car ran strong all the whole race.
Yeah, he did run strong the whole. Yeah, he was really good most of that race. He was.
I tell you, that kid has been very, very impressive. Even last year when he ran a few Cup races,
he's going to give Chase a run for that rookie title.
Yes, there's no doubt.
Chase is going to have
especially as good as those guys are running. The Penske team, they're running well.
Yeah,
they're not quite where the JGR cars are, but they're right there.
So I think they're good cars. I mean, but it was good to see Trevor Bayne had he was running pretty decent the other night for a little while. Ricky Stenhouse ran pretty good until he wrecked. But I mean, it's good to see.
Well, it seems like Roush is starting to make some headway.
Well,
I mean, it's still a long ways to go, but it seems like they've got some headway.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting next year, though, when you look at it. Penske's going to be Ford. The Wood brothers are Ford. Roush and all his cars are Ford. And then you're going to have Stewart Haas coming in as Fords. And
Clayton said, don't see anyone have to pit problems every week. That 11 has had it this year as a good pit crew.
But in the case of the 11 now, he made two mistakes. The driver made two mistakes. The pit crew really wasn't involved.
Those guys have been on point. All the JGR pit crews have been on point, to be honest. I mean, those guys as a whole.
And Truex, that's a JGR pit crew too. And I'm gonna tell you what,
right.
they've done pretty good, but they just fall right back.
It'll probably come down to who wins the race. Now, do you think Tony Stewart is going to win a race and get into the chase? As right now, I'd say no. But he is running better than I expected him to be. He'll get in the top 30.
He's going to get in the top 30. I think he can easily get in the top 30. Winning the race is going to be the problem. Right. I don't think it's.
I would hate to be the guy leading the race with him on my bumper this last year, because he don't care. He's got nothing to lose. What are you going to do?
That's right.
You might want. Well, you can't give it to him, but
you might want to. You might want to just let it. He's going to just let him go and get, because he's going to get you one way or the other. If he can get close enough to you, he's going to get you.
Yeah.
Tracy out there. Are we all ready for South Boston this weekend with Maddie?
Jack's volunteering if you need anything.
Oh, I'd love to. If I could get down there, I'd love to get down there, but I got to see if I can get out of the house again. This is the first time I've been out of the house in a week.
And, all right, well, we didn't really talk about the Teresa Earnhardt thing.
I mean,
to me, how much money is enough money?
Well, that's true. But
I mean,
why are you trying to take the Earnhardt legacy from his kids? You know, I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to carry the name, but why are you gonna try to take it from them? I mean,
it's sad, to be honest.
And that's what Kelly said on a radio show this past week, that it's really gonna be a bad situation because it's tearing everybody apart.
Well, I think it already has, and I don't think it could be men's, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I don't think so either. And she's got to remember she's got a child, and
she's got to be the one stuck in the middle.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to deal with.
So Tracy is ready. Tracy's ready to go to Sobo this weekend.
Well, I hope so. Let's go down there and get a top 10 this week, and let's take some steps to get there to that top 10. I know Maddie could do it. I think the only thing holding her back now is Tracy.
Actually, it's funny because I ran into Tracy and Maddie and Shannon at Olive Garden Sunday night after Rachel got off work. She wanted to go to Olive Garden for Mother's Day, and we sat down, and look who's beside me is them.
Oh, ain't nobody invite me out to eat.
Nah. Tracy worked a lot apparently on Saturday. I mean on Sunday.
All right, let me see.
I know me, Mark, and Gary and Eric, we slept as much as we could.
All right, let's see if I can get Greg Fernandez on there so we can get him on the show. You can go ahead and keep talking. I mean, you know, you had such a glorious weekend this weekend.
I did, man. We had a ton of fun down at Florence Motor Speedway. We did better than they kind of expected, or when it first started the race. I thought we were going to be a little worse off. That's right, Chasey. It was Mother's Day. Thank God my wife was working. But we had a lot of fun down there. I think we're going to have a few more guys come back to go down there on the 4th or 5th. The 4th or 5th in June. But that will be a lot of fun. Definitely want to go back. It's different. The drafting there is not as big a deal as it is at Langley Speedway. Greg Fernandez. Where's he from? Southside?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Is this Greg Fernandez?
Greg Fernandez speaking.
How you doing? This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. I got Scott Allen with me. How's everything going with you tonight?
Things are going well, buddy. Just leaving the race shop, as a matter of fact.
I know you're getting ready to win again this weekend?
Yes, we're scheduled to run Friday night.
Okay, good. Now, tell us a little bit about your racing career and how you got started in racing and to get to the point where you are now. And would like to hear a little bit about that.
Right on. Well, I'll tell you, years ago, a guy by the name of Chris Phillips, I went out to help him at Southside Speedway to work on his brother's car, Sonny Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Worked on their cars for a couple of years, and Sonny had great success. And I tell you, Chris rewarded me with a chance to drive their backup car the last race of the year. And we ran that last race, and like sticking the old needle in the arm when we got to do that. And it wasn't long after that I found me a late model and went out and bought it. We've been racing ever since.
Now, how many years have you been running late models?
I tell you, I never raced a day of my life and jumped in a late model. And this is my 10th year, so we got 9 years under our belt, and this is our 10th.
And then you go out and get that first win. Tell us a little bit about that first win you got not too long ago.
Well, I tell you, it was really special. You know, you got one of the best to ever do it at Southside Speedway, and Chris Dodson out there. Mm-hmm. Anytime you can outrun him, whether it's for the win or second or third or what have you, it's a big deal. And you know, we worked so hard for so many years with the same guys, and you know, we've had a little success, but not the ultimate success. To go out and get that was a major accomplishment for me and my team. And what a great bunch of guys. And
So what was the last couple of laps like when you're leading the last few laps? What was that like? Did you think something was going to happen?
Well, I tell you, we got out fronted early in the race, and the 0 and the 71, who, they're studs out there as well, but they got in a little trouble and ended up having to go to the back. So, we didn't push the car as hard as we could, but, we run, and later on in the race, caution falls, and lo and behold, the 0 car is right behind me. So I'm like, man, this is going to be tough. And so we get through the first restart there, and we held them off. And after that, then another caution falls. And green light checker. I'm sorry?
Well, we're just laughing.
We're just laughing. That was the kind of luck people have when they win that first race.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said that's kind of like the luck you would have when you're trying to win your first race, get all those cautions at the end of the race.
Right. So we had to go through 2 cautions and hold off a 7-time champ at the facility. And I tell you, probably wasn't many people there thought we were going to win. And to do it in that fashion was, granted he may have had to use his stuff up a little bit to get back up there and things like that, but we still held him off, and man, it was really cool. I really don't know how to explain it.
So how nervous were you on that green-white checker? Did you think you had enough to hold him off?
Well, after the first restart there, and we held him off, I kind of told myself we can do it. And I guess coming off turn 2 on that last restart there, he was pushing pretty hard, and he got a little sideways, and I seen it in my mirror, and we got a nice little 2-3 car length gap on him. And at that point, I was really feeling good about it. And we went into turn 3 on the last lap, and we still had a good car length or 2 lead. I kind of knew at that point it was over, and we were going to win it. I tell you, the ultimate happiness. I'll tell you that.
Are you still smiling?
I'm still smiling. I'm still carrying around my trophy.
Hey, on my first win, I took the trophy home, and the next morning I told my wife, I said, look, this is going to be funny. I said, you got to take a picture of me. I put my driver's suit back on, and I climbed into bed and put the trophy around my arm and act like I was asleep. My son, take a picture.
That is too funny. Yeah, we did a lot of things with the trophy. We rode around with it in the truck. Made the race stop, and I tell you, it was really neat, but that's history, and we got to work hard and try to get us another one. And it won't be no easy task, I'm sure.
Now, what are your plans for the rest of the season? You going to run strictly at Southside, or are you going to try to do some traveling around to some other tracks? Or?
Well, I tell you, at this point, with where we are, how we've been running so far, 3 races, we haven't finished no worse than 3rd. So, I feel obligated to stay where we are and try as well as we can at this facility. Aside from that, at the end of the year, I tell you, I'd love to go do some laps at Dominion, but I'm going to focus on Southside Speedway first.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's what I would do. Now, who builds your engines and helps you work on the cars and stuff like that?
Well, I tell you, we run a Townsend chassis, a bit older chassis with a lot of suspension updates and all done by Craig Oliver with Torque Chassis. Okay. He's done some phenomenal work on the car, and it really shows. My crew chief, Richard Davis, he's been with me for years, and that win was just as big for him as it was for me. And then we got the guys, Justin and Pork Chop and Ken Dave and Craig Quillian, Mark Broder, Greg Hall. The list goes on and on and on. I'm so glad to have all those guys. They've been with me for years. And they do a heck of a job with all of it. And this year we took on a second car with Grayson Cullither. I don't know if you've heard the name yet. I'm sure he will. He's 15 years old. He raced a U car last year, and this year he's in a late model, our second car.
Wow.
And the kid is doing a phenomenal job. He finished top 5 last race and only his 3rd start. So the kid's doing great. But these guys, all the same guys, are working on both cars now, so we've doubled our workload, and they've handled it like champs. Everybody has, and that's really special. So all those guys, all the credit goes to them. I got great sponsors and Bonner Homes and Hometown Realty with Matt Cullifer and Imperial Plumbing, Imperial Auto, Centerville Imports, Griffith Heating and Coolers jumped on board, Outperforming, Jersey Mike's. It's been a great year. So many things have come together that we didn't see coming, and last minute, it's been really, really good. And like I said, I'm blessed, and the good Lord above has blessed me.
So what's your chances of getting a repeat?
I feel good about it, to be honest. It will be tough. Chris Dodson is no joke at Southside Speedway.
Right.
But I do feel good about it. It's the best I've felt about racing since I started racing. And that means something.
Now, was this the first win for, all your guys, too?
Yes, sir. Actually, it is.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty cool for everybody to be that together that long and then to finally win a race. That's got to be so gratifying, and to be everybody's first win. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And not only my guys, but I have fans, and my wife and my kids. They come watch me race weekly, and have been coming for years. And not only for us, but for them as well. And when we won that race, I anticipated there being a few people down there and happy. I didn't anticipate that, and it was lots of people in victory lane. You couldn't even see the car. It was special for a lot of people, so it was really cool. I think it was a good win, and a lot of people were happy to see it.
Sure. We got a fan question here on Facebook. He wants to know:
yes,
is the stress to get the second win as stressful as it was getting the first one, or is it less stressful now trying to get the second win? Or I said that wrong.
I'd have to say it's more stressful for the second one, because at this point, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you put a little more pressure on yourself to run even better after you do win a race. So that's a tough question. I think it's stressful both ways, but I think it's a little more stressful. I had a little more pressure on myself, for me, this past week after winning the race. So I'd have to say it's the second one's a bit more stressful.
Yeah, I bet you won't be quite as nervous the next time a green-white checker comes out and you're leading, because you've done it before. Now you would have the confidence to say, I can do it again.
Well, I tell you, it's tough to beat experience, and that's at anything. It's hard to beat anybody at the game, and the more you experience something, the more comfortable you are with it. So it was a first for us. We've been there, we've finished second many times, but that was the first to actually start there and hold them off and win the race.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely makes you more comfortable if you have to do it again.
All right. Go ahead. We got another fan question. Wants to know, what was it like, how did it feel to beat Dodson?
Oh, man. Again, as I stated, he's the best there. And anybody that says he isn't is probably not telling the truth. In my time. I'm not saying ever, because there's been some heck of racers come through there. But to beat him, I felt really good about it, because I knew I beat the best. And whether he was having an off night or had to come from the back, or whatever the reason, we still won, and we still held him off twice, and it felt really good.
All right. Miss Alabama, Robin Sims, wants to know, what's your favorite racetrack?
My favorite racetrack, I'm going to have to tell you, it's Southside Speedway.
I was going to say, yeah.
I got hundreds of laps around, thousands of laps around Southside Speedway. We've been to South Boston. We attempted to make the Denny race at Richmond, which I think we kind of stepped out of our league a little bit going there from coming, straight from Southside Speedway. But we went down to Wake County and ran there one time. But short of that, it's been Southside Speedway my entire racing life. So, of course, I love that bull ring, and it's some really good racing there, some really good people there, just like it is at all tracks.
Well, it's got to be good for you and good to have the thing in your mind that you were racing at Southside Speedway, and there has been a lot of great drivers to come through Southside.
Oh, yeah.
And
Eddie Johnson, Bugs Harefield, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I mean, and now you're one of those winners that's won at that track. That has to really feel good in your mind.
Well, absolutely. You know, and my crew chief and I and the crew, we were all talking about it. You know, over the last few years, I mean, you could probably count the winners out there on one hand. So it's, you know, it's not easy to win there. You know, it's not easy to win anywhere.
Right.
But you know, you got a couple guys out there that just dominate. You know, like you said, the Wayne Pattersons and the, you know, that's joining some pretty good company there to win a race at Southside Speedway for sure.
Yeah.
Well, answer the question, but how much has Dominion hurt Southside Speedway in your mind, or it hasn't? I mean, it may not have.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I really don't think it has, to be honest. They run a different night than we do. You know, we do have, you know, a couple guys. I know Eddie Johnson's running out there, and Tyler Daniel, he's running here and there. But short of that, I can't say it's hurt us. We've had pretty good car counts, you know, anywhere from, you know, last race was a little bit low. A couple people weren't there, but I think first week we had 18 cars. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's a good car count.
Has any guy?
That's a great car count. You know, you go around any of these tracks, and I bet a few of them would love to say they had 18 late model show up.
Yeah. Has any of them come from Langley? Being Langley is in kind of a limbo.
You know, I haven't seen any Langley drivers.
That's what I was just
Mark
thinking.
Wertz is running down at South Boston.
Yeah.
But you know, the Edwards and, you know, Nick Smith, he's at Dominion. But the Edwards and some of the other big names, I haven't heard much about if they're racing or where.
Well, I think I heard Greg and them may be going to Dominion soon, is what I've heard.
Right. Well, I tell you, I went out a couple weeks ago and watched, and Nick Smith got the victory. And I tell you, phenomenal racetrack, really fast, good car count, nice facility.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Greg, we appreciate your time tonight. We want to congratulate you on that win at Southside. Get you a couple more of those this year, and give Chris Dodson a run for his money for that title.
Hey, we're going to do the best we can do, and again, it feels good to be running up front. And I'd like to thank you for having me on your show, and I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah. All right, well, we appreciate your time, and we'll get you back on here again, and we'll talk to you later on and see how things are going the rest of the season.
Sounds great, buddy. Thanks again.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
So then he won twice. He won at Southside, and he got on our show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how much more can you add?
Right.
Hey. And, you know, I mean,
that's a win.
That's a huge deal for him. That's really huge. All right, let's get Gus Dean on here.
Gus Dean wins at Talladega.
I think he ran the cars race this weekend down at Hickory too. I think he's originally running a lot of Hickory races.
I don't know much about Gus Dean there. See you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, is this Gus Dean?
Yes, sir, it is.
How you doing? This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. How's everything down your way tonight?
Oh, it's pretty good. How about yourself?
We're doing great. We're doing great up here, and we wanted to call and talk to you and congratulate you on that big Talladega ARCA win, man. That was huge.
Yes, sir. I sure appreciate it. We had a great time. It really was incredible.
Now, how many ARCA races are you going to run? You're running for Mason Mitchell, right?
Yes, sir, we are.
Oh, yeah.
And prior to the Talladega race, we were obligated for the Talladega races and the Central Pocono race July 29th, which we are still running that second February race on July 29th. But after the events that unfolded in Talladega, it's kind of up in the air as to if the sponsors will want to come back and do some more. And we've obviously been very open in doing that soon. And we definitely will be in the car July 29th in Pocono, and hopefully some more races,
even before and after that.
Well, that's cool. Now, give us a little background on Gus Dean, how he got started in racing, and to go to where he is now.
Well, I started racing go-karts at my local dirt track when I was 6 years old. And we went from there, and I raced go-karts from then until 2007. We won several state championships and a national championship. And from there we went to Eidson Legacy Cars, where we did really well and had a lot of fun. And then we moved up to super late models and crate late models very briefly before we ventured into the Pro Cup series. I got a lot of big car experience when we did the venture into the Pro Cup series. We had a lot of fun. And then eventually that series folded under and became what's known as the Cars Tour Super Late Model Series. So we got back into the Super Late Model, and now we're venturing into ARCA and doing well and having a blast along the way.
Now you ran the cars race at Hickory this weekend. How did that go for you?
We didn't have quite the run that we were hoping to in Hickory. We struggled quite a bit, couldn't get the car quite right, but it's just one of those things that comes along with racing. We went from the win at Talladega, which is one of the largest tracks in over-track racing, to Hickory, which is one of the smallest, and kind of had our tails tucked. So, that's just all part of it, but we got the car back and disassembled it and trying to diagnose what happened and get it fixed so we can come back with a vengeance at the next first tour race.
Now, how many ARCA races had you ran up until Talladega?
Well, we ran the Daytona race. If you want to count it, we unfortunately we caught up in the events of the big one of lap 2. And that was a one-race deal for us at the time. So, that was a real heartbreaker for us. But, fortunately, the gracious people with pretty cool products and cabin installers, they decided to take a chance on me and give me that second shot. And I, alongside Mason Mitchell Motorsports, went down to Talladega with one goal in mind, and everybody pulled in the same direction, and we accomplished what we went down there to do.
Now, in your super late model or your late model, who owns that car? Do you own it, or is it a family car, or is it something like that?
Yes, sir. It's a family team in racing, and we own the super late models, and we were in the K&N series, but ARCA is going to probably take precedence over that now in the coming months.
Now, tell us a little bit about the competition in the Cars series. And I've read there's a lot of great guys racing that series. Tell us about the competition out there.
The Cars Tour series is probably one of the most competitive series I've ever run in. It's a very, very high level of professional race car drivers, and a lot of short track legends that we grew up watching and hearing about. So it's really cool to get the opportunity to be able to race against those guys, and you really can learn from it. But like I say, it is probably one of the most challenging series I've ever been a part of.
So where all have you raced? I know that in the car series you probably raced around, but where are some of the other tracks that you've raced that you really like going to?
Well, when we raced the Pro Cup car, we got the opportunity to race at Southside Speedway. And then I ran a K&N race at Richmond. That was very fun. And then obviously the races we got to do at Daytona and Talladega. Other than that, we've raced on pretty much every short track you can think of from Florida to Virginia. So, we've been doing it a long time, and we've had a lot of fun and a lot of great experiences. And, it's just a blessing to be able to do what we love as a living.
Now, didn't you used to run some at Motor Mile, too, at one time?
We did, yes, sir. When the tour series that we run at the time would go, we would run at Motor Mile.
Oh, okay. I thought I had seen you at Motor Mile one time before.
Yes, sir. I've been there quite a few times. It's actually one of my favorite tracks. It's got a lot of grip. It's really fast. I really like that place.
So going back to Talladega, when during the race did you feel like that you had a car to win?
As soon as we unloaded. The car was blistering fast all day. We were first in practice. Sat outside pool in qualifying. and we stayed pretty much in the top 4 throughout the entire race. Besides, briefly after we came in from pit, we went back out 8th, and it only took us about a lap and a half to get right back up front. So we definitely had, probably the car to beat all day. And just happened to be in the right place at the right time when the caution was thrown, and it just happened to work out for us. But it definitely was a fluke. The car was definitely a victory lane car from start to finish.
Now I see a picture on your Facebook where this Alex Smiles is on the hood of the car. What's the significance of that?
Well, Alex Smiles, Alex Arietta, was he was from the town that I'm from. He was 9 years old, and he was diagnosed with leukemia. He created that campaign to bring awareness to acute myeloid leukemia. And we did our best to support him and told him that we'd be honored to fly his flagship on the hood of the car. So we were able to tell him that he was going to be on the hood of the race car at Talladega. But unfortunately, Alex passed away 2 days before the race. So, I definitely think that we had an angel flying with us during the race to get us that last little push right when we needed it.
Do you? Well, that's pretty cool. You got to win. It sucks that you didn't get to tell him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It does. But like I say, I believe he was flying with us, and I hope we made him proud.
Now, what was it like to this past weekend? You go from a super speedway like Talladega to go back to the Little Bull Ring at Hickory. Now, I've been to Hickory thousands of times, and I'm going to tell you, that's a small place. What was it like? How do you get your mind wrapped around you got to go back to a little track like that?
Well, when you leave the super speedway, you definitely feel like you're barely moving when you go to a place like Hickory. But it does take a lot more finesse with the car, to stay consistent. So it's kind of a mind trick that you have to play with yourself. Even though you're going a lot slower, everything happens so much faster. So it's one of those things where the two races themselves, between the differences between a heavy car and a super late model and a short track like Hickory and a super speedway. The differences are so immense that it really doesn't confuse you too much because they're so different that it's almost like going two completely different styles of the sport.
Now, the rest of the season, you got a few more ARCA races. Are you going to be running the whole Cars Tour the rest of the year?
Yes, sir. We'll be running the full Cars Tour along with some select pass races and a few other premier super late model races. Obviously, when we are not running in the ARCA Racing Series.
Now, give your sponsors a big shout out and all the people that help you out on the car. Give them a little bit of thanks tonight.
Yes, sir. We really couldn't have done it without Green. Like I said, they took a chance on me. They gave me that second chance, and we can't thank them enough for that. We definitely had a blast with them in Talladega. We hope they did too. It worked out great. It was awesome. So we have them to thank for that. Green Cooling Products is just an amazing company, and it's a real honor to be able to race with their name on the hood. Cabin Stallers has been a long-time sponsor of mine from the early Allison Legacy days, and their continued support just means so much to us. But without those guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So we definitely send them all the thanks in the world.
Well, we really appreciate your time tonight, Gus. We know you're a busy man, got a lot of stuff going on.
And congratulations on that win.
Yeah, congratulations on that big win at Talladega. That was huge.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, we're going to get you back on here again real soon. You go out there and get us another win at Pocono and Talladega this year.
Yes, sir. We'll do it. I appreciate y'all having me on.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Gary said, give a shout out to Colin Roberts for me for the dedication he gave to me Saturday night at Florence. Yeah. Colin Roberts, good job for pushing Gary.
I see a situation here that probably needs to be explained. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
Well, he pushed Cullen, or Cullen pushed him for a while. But in the end, somebody was falling back, and I thought it was in my best interest to to pick him up, which I did. You're welcome, Gary. Yeah, until his engine decided to blow up. Now, probably that loaner. You probably ought to talk to that guy who loaned you that motor. He probably did that on purpose.
All right, I got. Keep on talking.
Yeah. But we had a ton of fun. I was glad that they were all going and kind of talked me into going, and Robert didn't go, but that's all right. Mark showed up, which was always fun, and we had a good time, man. It was a blast. I tell you, the fans. That was probably the best race of the night, the Champ Kart race, hands down. Yeah. Oh, that was a funny story too. So, I drove Mark's truck back until we got to Emporia, and then I made Mark drive because I was about to fall asleep. And then Gary said there was no need for him to drive me all the way to Robert's shop to get my car. So Gary obliged and give me a ride. And then when we got halfway there, I said, "Man, I can't find my cell phone. I thought it was in Mark's truck." Well, it wasn't. It was on the side of the interstate. And we went back, and about the last minute, I was like, "Well, it's gone." I looked, and there it was. So I guess that was payback for me picking up Gary. So now we're even.
How far back did you get before you realized?
Well, where we just parked on the side of the interstate, and I got out of Mark's truck and got in Gary's truck, and then we took off just as soon as you go over the high rise. So we had to go down to Indian River, turn around, and we kind of. Well, I'll just say Gary made an illegal U-turn there before the bridge because if not, you had to go all the way to Deep Creek to make a U-turn and come back the other way.
From 804400996.
Justin?
Hello?
Hey, Jack.
Yes.
Rick Fernandez again. I hate to be a return caller.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to take 1 second to thank my engine builder, and I said, you even asked me the question. My mind got to going, and I totally didn't say a word. But I'd like to thank Leon Wheatley with Wheatley Race Engines.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wheatley is 90 years old. He built both the engines at both our race cars this year.
Good God.
And that alone is impressive.
Absolutely.
And, he's a wonderful man, and he's been a staple in racing for many years. He means the world to me, and I kick myself in the butt for not mentioning him.
Well, you got to give him a lot of credit for that win. Now you got
yeah. It's probably all his. Man. It's all his doing.
I tell you, he does my carburetors, my distributors, my engine, my transmission. He does it all, and he's a legend, and he's one of my best buddies. So.
Well, we appreciate your call. Yeah, I did ask you, and it slipped my mind too. I never even thought about it no more.
That's not unusual.
But
right on, buddy. Well, hey, again, I don't want to hold up anybody else's time. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk at you soon.
All right, man.
You're
we'll
welcome,
talk to you later. Hopefully, we'll get up to Southside and see you sometime.
That'd be awesome. Let me know.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
90 years old and still building motors and carburetors and.
I'm lost now where I was at a minute ago. I'm just.
But yeah, 90 years old. It was funny because Sunday I went over to help my dad, and it was across from Barry's Performance where I worked at, and I went over there, and Junie was there, and Junie's just turned 90 in December, and he still is just as healthy as he was when I met him 25 years ago. Clayton says, "Scott, I need a video recap of your race during the show." There's actually a video out there. I did post it. I shared it of the race. It was a lot of fun. I never been anywhere that you could pull your truck across the racetrack during a race after the cars go by. I ain't never seen nothing like it. It was.
Well, that was some down home racing there, wasn't it?
Country bumpkins. That Scott and Mark driving, yeah. Yeah, it was a sight, Greer. I don't even know if Mark really made a lap, so I don't know if we could officially. The only thing I was hoping for is Mark made sure I stayed up in the lead pack until we all took off.
All right.
Mark said, "Shh."
All right, we're gonna change the tone of the show a little bit here. We're gonna get a guy on here, and we're gonna talk food now.
Food, man.
We're gonna talk to Spanky.
He is the main cook for
Richard Petty Motorsports.
Man, and they had some bacon over there the other day.
Hello, is this Spanky?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's happening with you down your way, man?
Oh, just a little bit of working. How you doing this evening?
We're doing great. This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. I got Scott Allen here with me. And, man, I tell you what, I seen you at Martinsville and I saw you at Richmond, and I said, I'm going to get this guy on the show because we love to talk food.
I could smell the bacon at Richmond.
Yeah, you go to any NASCAR cars, you're definitely going to smell bacon.
Especially around the Richard Petty Motorsports group.
Yeah,
now.
I know they got some good bacon over there. I meant to go over there and get me some because I can smell that honey bacon. Man, oh man.
How did you?
You should come on by.
How did you get involved doing this for Richard Petty Motorsports?
I have actually been working for NASCAR and actually working with race teams since I was 18 years old. And it's commonly that the truck driver is the one that drives the truck and cooks. And so I've done that for multiple years. I got away from the cooking part and everything. And a couple years ago, with Trent Owens, the crew chief for us, you know, we had another guy there cooking, and he parted ways with us. And Trent looks at me and he goes, "Spanky, I know you can cook, but you got to step up." Oh man, you know, you got me now. So with Smithfield Foods and everything behind me, you know, it was a great opportunity for me to show what I can do and everything. So hey, I just unleashed the beast, and hey, let's cook, baby. Let's get it going.
Yeah, you don't have an excuse with that sponsor and the food. I mean,
that's unbelievable.
You got it made there.
I would say there's a lot of other people that cook in the garage, but you know, between Big John, Cat, and Showman Dan, you know, they're great cooks also. I would eat their food any day, but they're like, "Thank you, we can't compete with you. You've got Smithfield Foods behind you, and you know, Richard Petty Motorsports and stuff. So you know, you're lucky." And yeah, I can't say I'm lucky in a way because, like I say, with Smithfield and all the products, you know, they do so much for me, and they give me so much. You know, if I ask for it, they give it to me, and it's just, you know, unlimited stuff.
Well, now tell us a little bit about, you know, you went before the Richmond race. You guys went over to Smithfield Foods, which is in our neck of the woods, really. And tell us what all took place over there. I mean, that sounded like a lot of fun and a lot of money for a good cause.
Well, yeah, Eric Arnold and Trent and myself and other people on the team, we need to go to Smithfield to have a fan day. And I'm thinking, why do you want me to go up there? Well, Smithfield's behind you, you know, you're a chef for Smithfield Foods. So I'm like, okay, so I go up there thinking I'm going to be doing some cooking and everything, and I actually go up there and do some meet and greet and shake a few hands and everything, and then they look at me and go, "Thank you, we wasn't going to tell you that we entered you in the bacon eating contest." And I'm thinking, oh Lord, I done this 2 years ago, and I couldn't eat 4 strips of bacon, so me and Richard didn't eat the rest of it. And once they told me, I'm like, well, you know, $5,000, you know, it really got me motivated then.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was, you know, I had about 3 or 4 pieces of bacon in my mouth, and I'm chewing it, and I'm like, oh Lord, I can't swallow it. You're in trouble. And I figured out how to get the bacon down and and I don't want to say because Smithfield had a bacon eating contest a lot, so I don't want to give them a hint away because I may be back in another one. But long story short, I got it all down and everything and won the contest, and that was a big achievement for me because, you know, a lot of drivers can give money away and everything, and, you know, as me as a crew member and the cook for the team, you know, we work hard for what we earn and everything, and then that $5,000, you know, right when I won it, my heart was like, you can't keep it. You know, this little girl back home that's got a rare disease, and then they said, what are you going to do with money? I'm donating it to the Abby Grace Foundation in Dallas, North Carolina, and, you know, I was content with it. I didn't have no remorses and everything, and Eric Almirola come to me Saturday, and he looked at me and goes, Spanky, you done the right thing by doing that. Now, you know, my heart's happy for doing it, and, you know, and if I could do it again and donate money again, I'd do it. Just being with an organization like that, with Rich Perry Motorsports in Smithfield, you've got an opportunity to do stuff like that, to give back. And I'm a giving person. My wife gives me down the road so much because if I've got a T-shirt, I've got a hat, and you come up to me, I like that hat, I like that T-shirt, I'm going to take it off my back and give it to you. And I just give anything I've got. And my wife said, well, you don't want to keep nothing for yourself. I said, I've enjoyed it. I've been doing racing for the first 21 years. I've got memories. I've got a lot of souvenirs and stuff. Let me give back to people that never see it or never get to be around it.
And that's really cool that you could do that too, because it makes an impression on them, and I mean that's really huge.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I say, you know, a little history with Rich Perry. You know, I've worked for several teams over the years, and I can honestly say that I hope I retire at this racetrack. I mean, not this race team, because Rich Perry Motorsports is a family-oriented team. Mm-hmm. You know, we might get in there and every now and then we'll mumble and grumble, but, you know, it's part of being a family.
Right.
And last year I got burnt real bad, and it was on my own doing on Easter weekend, and they stood behind me for 9 weeks to get better from being burnt. And Spanky, your job's here. Don't worry about it. Just get better. And my biggest fear was, you know, I'm going to lose my job because it didn't happen at work. Mm-hmm. And that lets me know what kind of people they are and how Richard is and all that. And you know, and if you're in racing or you're trying to get in racing, you know, drop a resume off Rich Perry Motorsports. You never know what happens. It's the best team I've ever worked for.
And it's got to be neat to be around somebody like Richard Petty and Eric Almirola and Trent Owens. I mean, with Trent's history and everything that he's got, it's really huge. And that's got to be good to be around that and to know that those people are really down to earth.
It is. Me and Trent worked together in the Busch Series with the Busch Series, and actually we've got a win with Jason Leffler. With, you know, that was real big. You know, when I was with Trent when the Great Clips with Jason Leffler we won in ARCA.
Right.
Me and Trent's got some history together, and he's so humble to work for, and Eric is just, you know, laid back. Every now and then he will get aggravated on the radio. The other driver, you know, if your car's not the best, he's the one out there sweating and working his tail off at 190 miles an hour. You know, I don't blame him. And Sammy John, the general manager, all the guys that stay there just are laid back. And, you know, that means a lot to the employees and myself.
Now, what's it like in driving the truck and everything that goes on? You got some real characters driving those trucks. Now, I know a few of them, but there's some real characters out there. How is that when y'all get out there together and show up at the racetracks and have to be parked and everything? You're around them.
Y'all don't pick on each other, do you?
Yeah. There's a long man on the phone before we pick on this week. Yeah, all the truck drivers, you can't ask for a better group of guys. We're with each other every week, you know, from basically February to November. Mm-hmm. And if I need anything, they're there for. If I break down on the side of the road and have a flat tire, and they're near, they're going to stop me. If I've been on the road before and blow a tire, and truck behind me will come up, Spanky, all right, I got a flat. And if I didn't have a spare, because we run special tires on these trailers, usually they're going to have a spare tire. Here, take my until you get a new one down the road. But the camaraderie with all these truck drivers is a brotherhood.
Yeah.
If you have an accident, you've got a death in the family, or some kind of anything, we throw a hat out and we go around. We make sure that person's family is looked after through the truck drivers.
Now, I'm gonna bring up a name.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna bring up a name, and I know he's not a truck driver now, but I know he's around you guys a lot. That's old Fat Boy. Do you have any dealings with old Fat Boy?
Oh my! Well, Fat Boy used to be my co-driver.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Little story. You ever hear Fat Boy scream like a little girl?
No, I haven't.
Me and him was going across Texas. About 80 mile an hour, 85 mile an hour. He's in the sleeper, and we had a tire blowout on the tractor. He'd come out of that sleeper screaming, I'm talking about screaming like a little 2-year-old girl thinking we're going to wreck. And I'm like, shut up, hold on, we got to stop. I have pinned him down the road ever since then. So next time y'all see Fat Boy, ask him about blowing that tire in Texas in the 51 hauler.
We will.
Oh, you were over at the 51?
I used to drive for James Finch on the 51 hauler with Guy Lupin.
Okay, my son worked over at James Finch's for a long time with Nick Harrison and that group. So he was over there.
Yeah, we had some fun times down there with James Finch and everything. And Spook, he was a great legend, you know.
Yeah.
I was honored to get to work with Spook before he passed away. He taught me a lot in this business.
Spook was a one-of-a-kind person, I'm going to tell you. I stayed with him up at Dover one time after the team left. The whole team left me there with him, and we had to load that truck up. And let me tell you something. Everything had to be right where he wanted it, very precise. He was a one-of-a-kind guy.
That is true. I actually got to go cross country with Spook, I think 3 trips. And for that guy his age and still trucking, I will tell you, he taught me so much. You know, I know I've been in this business a while, but actually being able to work with somebody like that and the knowledge of that man in my book was, he was a genius.
Yeah.
He worked on jets, all kinds of planes and stuff in the military. When he was in the military, the things he said to me, the things he done was just amazing. And I'm blessed to be able to work with him. You know, that's the type of people that we work with nowadays, you know.
Right.
Country people, down to earth, and then, you know, I hate Spook went to the better place, but you know, he went home and he's looking down on us right now. Going, that's right, Spanky. You tell him about me.
Well, Spanky, we appreciate your time tonight. I know you got a lot going on, getting ready to head on up to Dover too, and it was nice talking to you. And when we come up to Charlotte, we're gonna look you up and see if we can get some of that
bacon.
That bacon.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're here All-Star Weekend and you're here for the Coca-Cola 600, y'all got Spanky's Kitchen.
All right.
Smithfield bacon.
That's right.
All right, man. We're going to do that. We're going to look you up. We appreciate your time tonight. It was great talking to you, man.
Anytime y'all need me, you got my number.
All right, man. We'll do that, too. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. I did not know. Now I know where I've seen this guy from.
Oh, really? Yeah, we had to get him back on because I bet there's some more stories. I did ask him about Squirrel or where did Spanky the name come from?
Yeah, I had that on my mind to ask him that, and I didn't. But I did not know he was at the 51. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that part.
Find something we can pick on him about when we go to Charlotte.
All right, we're supposed to have Austin Thaxton calling in here.
See, he's been calling. People are saying our thing is kind of flickering and pausing. It must be on our side. It looks pretty good. So I don't know if it's the internet because we got so many contraptions on the internet that maybe that is what's causing it to bog some. But it's better.
Hello?
Is this Austin Thaxton?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? This is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News. Got Scott Allen here with me. It's great to have you on tonight, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It's good to be on there talking to you guys.
So tell us a little bit about Austin Thaxton and where he got started racing and how he got to where he is now.
Well, it all really kind of started with my grandpa and grandma. My grandpa, he kind of used to own stuff that, own circle track cars, and I used to go to the racetrack with them before I could even remember. So, I really didn't know any other way other than Saturday night just being at the racetrack. So, we had David Blankenship drive for him, and Timothy Peters and Brandon Butler. A bunch of guys that won a bunch of races. Dean Ward, just a bunch of guys that won racing with them. And we just, when I turned old enough, I started going to the track as much as I could. And I started working at A&E race cars. And before I was in, middle school when I started working up there, just trying to learn as much as I could. And when I got old enough to drive, my grandma gave me the opportunity to get in a car that they had that was really old, and I just kind of worked at it, and that's kind of how we got to where we're at now.
Now, who do you drive for now?
Sally Father, my grandmother.
Okay.
That's your grandmother. Okay, I did not know that. I knew you had the fallen, her car, but I did not know it was your grandmother.
Yes, sir. That's my grandma.
I'm gonna tell you what. Now she's had some, and they've had some great drivers in their cars, like you said.
Well, yeah.
And you're falling into a great line of people there.
Yeah, it's I've been very fortunate with my racing. As far as when we show up at the racetrack, and just about every week we see somebody that has either helped them or raced for them or raced with them. And I've been very fortunate to have great people helping me along the way. And it's not many people get the opportunity that I get as far as the racing goes, and I'm very thankful for it. And I try to show my appreciation to everybody that helps me as much as I can. And you can never show them enough, but it's kind of a dream that I've always had. I'm getting to live it, so trying to take advantage of it while I can. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have aspirations of moving up? I mean, you've made quite a name for yourself in the local level.
Yeah, when we started, everybody used to laugh at me, and I was terrible at one time, and I feel like as a driver I've learned a lot, got a lot better, but I feel like I still need to be better. And sometimes I think that's one of my big downfalls is I try a little too hard to make something happen, and then I usually don't do too good. So if I go over there with an open mind and just try to have fun with it, I usually do a little better instead of trying to overachieve on it. But I guess that's part of the race for everybody. You go over there with the mentality that you want to win every night, and it's usually not going to happen. So, but if you go over there thinking you're going to run second or third, you definitely ain't going to win. So kind of just gotta take it in stride and have fun with it, and that's kind of the way you got to go about it, I guess.
Now, you run about the whole season at South Boston. Do you race anywhere else?
We have every year except for last year. We went to Martinsville and we wrecked the car in practice about 5 minutes before qualifying. And we put it back together and went out there and qualified horrible, and we bent the front flip in the red. So we just kind of pieced it back together to make it to qualifying, and then I think 7 or 8 laps in the heat race in the photo up. So we just kind of cut our season off early last year, but I feel like we're doing some stuff this winter, and we've been running really, really well. And I
guess 2 races ago, we totally lost the only car that we had, and we're in the process of building a new one, just trying to get everything finished up on it. And we're planning on racing some more. We're going to try to travel some here pretty quick. We're aiming to run South Boston this weekend, and then next week we're going to kind of look at the schedule and see where everyone else is racing and pick somewhere and go somewhere next weekend. So I haven't really had the opportunity to travel much as far as, against South Boston, just for the simple fact that my shop is 2 miles from the racetrack, so it's kind of hard to drive past the racetrack to get to another racetrack, but we're planning on going some different places this year, just kind of see how it goes. We're still third in the points, but we want to go some different places and win some races, so that way people know that we're here to stay for a while anyway.
Well, Austin, one of the things that around here, Langley Speedway, we don't know. That's kind of in limbo, and a lot of those guys have come to South Boston. How does that affect the competition up there? That's got to be great for you guys to have these other people come in and the competition and the car count be up like it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, if the fans aren't getting their money's worth as far as the car count and the racing goes in South Boston, then I don't know where they're going to find any better races. Just about every week it's been 3-wide or 4-wide racing. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that. The guys from Langley, they've got a little different driving style. At the end of the day, I think that the guys that are running up front, running up front at Langley, that's running up front here, they're great guys to race against. They give you plenty of room, and I love racing with them. I rented a car from a guy last week, and me and Mark Works raced, I think, probably 5 or maybe even more than that, 5 or so laps side by side on the outside. I was on the outside of him, and he jumped out the car after racing. We were going to the Thaxton, and he was just as happy as to be. And, I want to say it's fun to race people like that when you don't have to worry about somebody tearing your car up. And it's just fun, and that's kind of what Saturday night race is supposed to be about. A lot of times you get lost in it because you're trying to do so great, but at the end of the day, it was really cool to both of us get out the car and to talk about how fun it was to race one another. So I really like the competition that they're bringing, and we ran the Hampton Heat a couple years ago, and when you go down there, you gotta have enough together. It's no joke.
Yeah.
But I hope they can get Langley back going, and we can try to get in there and race some,
Yeah. Now, do you like the 2-tire rule at South Boston?
I don't, personally. I think if you run a late model stock car, then you need to be able to buy 4 tires. The thing about it is, if you can't afford to buy 4 tires, and they make a limited class where you can buy 2 tires, and that's what I feel like it should be. If we're going to race on 2 tires at South Boston, which I feel like is a premier track of the short track racing, then that's what we need to do at Barneville. You don't go to Barneville and put on 2 tires, you buy 4 tires there. So you got 100 cars trying to make the show at Barneville, and nobody complains about buying 4 tires up there. So why should we be on 2 tires on a Saturday night race, Tony?
No, they just complain about their car tore up at the end of the day, because think about it, 100, at least 50 of them are tore up when they leave Martinsville.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the 2-tire deal is working out good so far for everybody, and you can't make everybody happy in racing. Somebody's usually going to have a different opinion. And, the 4-tire deal, I mean, I like 4 tires, and anybody who wants up and down pit road, if they had the option to buy 4 tires, then they would probably buy them over buying 2 tires. So, it's kind of one of those things. It's working out good. They've got a good car count, and the racing's been great. So, I guess you can't say too much bad about it. It just
now
not my favorite.
Yeah, how difficult is it to match tires up when you're only dealing with getting 2 new ones every week?
Well, it's been a challenge. You know, you see guys putting them some on the right, some on the left. Last week I looked up now through there, and one guy had 2 new ones on the rear. So, you know, it's kind of I don't know. It's a little bit of a challenge, but most of the guys that run up this way have run limited at some point, so they have a general idea of what the tires are going to do. And,
Right.
I think it's kind of been an advantage for, you know, maybe a couple guys versus some of the guys that's been used to running 4 tires all the time. But, you know, if you run a late model stock, then you adjust pretty quick. You come to South Boston, you racing with the best, so you really don't have much of a choice but to adjust pretty quick and stuff. So I think it's working out pretty good. It's just one more little challenge you got to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's brung some guys down there to run with you guys because we have had a few people on and they had contributed the 2-tire rule, making it a little less expensive to go there, and plus they're paying more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like I said, I think it's a good deal for most people, and I think if most people had the option of buying 4 tires, they would probably run a 3 on them. But
sure.
It's I guess it's even the racing out a little bit more because you know, if you run really, really fast one week, then you're probably not going to have that great of tires for the next race.
Right.
And if you save a little bit, then you're not going to run really, really good one week, but the next week you're going to have really good tires. So I think that's why we're seeing, you know, a few different winners and seeing the competition as good as it's been.
Now, do you consciously try to save the tires this week because you know you got to run 2 of them next week?
I don't, which seems to be a problem. But, you know, as a racer, when you get out there and you're running in the top 2, you're running like this RGK trying to get a win, and
right.
You know, you got your crew guys back there saying on pit wall yelling at you to slow down, but sometimes
that's hard to do.
Yeah, you just want to win races, so that seems to be a challenge. But I think we're getting a little better at it. So I guess we'll see. You know, sometimes I guess you gotta, if you don't have a car good enough to win, then you gotta take what it'll give you and just roll on with it. So kind of been a little bit of a challenge to move around over the years, but that's kind of why I guess I started running a little bit also.
All right, well, we appreciate your time tonight. Give your sponsors a shout out and everything, and
Grandma.
Yeah, and give your grandma a shout out too. Now.
Yeah, I couldn't do without all of them. You know, my grandma was following trucking and Kowalski racing engines, A&E race cars, all my crew guys, Missy's Graphics, attending the Light Family Restaurants. My girlfriend putting up with it in my family. You know, we just all of us put in 100%, and you know, it's starting to show. They say great things come to those who wait, and I've waited a really long time. So hopefully this year will be our year to win a bunch of races.
All right, well, we hope you win a bunch of them too. So we're gonna get you back on here real soon. So go out and get a couple of them. We'll get you back, and we'll talk again.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your time tonight, man.
All right, man. See you guys. Bye.
Cool guy, man.
Oh yeah. We catch up on a few guys. Deanne says she missed us. She barely has a signal at the Moose Lodge. Well, thanks for checking in with us there, Deanne. And Mark Roberts says he wanted to thank his sponsors for the race and at Florence. Sponsor Courthouse Imports, Scott Allen, Gary, the pole man Osborne. Said that they had fun. He knows Cullen was a little dejected, but who wouldn't be after running up front with Gary until 3 to go and have a mechanical failure? So, yeah. We got old Eddie Perdue. Eddie, we probably should have you back on the show. We appreciate you giving us a compliment and having a good show there. Maybe we'll come by and see you. I guess you're still over on the 24 on the Xfinity? No?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll see you down at Charlotte. We'll be down there for the 600, so we'll come by and say hi or try to find you there, Eddie.
All right, before we sign off the air.
Thanks, Robin. Says we have an awesome show.
Down there in Talladega?
Talladega.
All right, we're going to have to do our picks before we get off the air. Clayton, you're dead last, so don't even try yet. But Scott's first again this week.
That's 2 times in a row there.
And we're at Dover this week, so.
Yeah, well, you know who the man at Dover is.
Okay.
The 48. I think with them not having a good run, they usually come back with a vengeance. It's hard to go against those guys at Dover, to be honest. Although I thought it was hard to be against Junior at Talladega.
Well, yeah.
That didn't work out for me either.
Well, I'm going to have to I'm going to do something I hardly ever do. I'm going with Kyle Busch. I mean, you know, he's defying all the odds this year. All right, Clayton, it's on you now.
So he's won 3 of the last 4 races. He's on a good streak, he says. Well, Clayton, what's your pick there?
Yeah, give us your pick for Dover, because I know you got one. Are
you going out on a limb like Jack?
I think Danica would be good for you, Clayton. All right, Clayton, we're waiting on you because we got to get off the air here in a minute, so you're going to have to come on.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I have gotten more fake profile friend requests. I mean, I got a list of them. They ain't real. You on there, they got one picture.
Yeah, they...
Clayton?
Waiting on you, Clayton. There it is.
He said, damn it paused. I can't see my picks. They're not up there.
Well, just tell us who it is. Just send Scott a message. Tell him who you're picking. I'll put you down for Danica if that's what you want me to do. I mean, that's cool. But anyway,
so the 10 car. He's probably gonna be like, "Hell no!" That feels Martinsville. He laughed. Feels Martinsville. I'd take her at Martinsville. For whatever reason, she does well at Martinsville.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Does anybody else out there got a pick they want to pick for this weekend at Dover? And in a couple more weeks, and we're going to be in Charlotte.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Get to spend a couple days down there.
With me?
I wasn't going to go there.
Let's see. Robin Dega is right. Yeah, Dega's right. Who's your pick for Dover? But we're gonna have fun. We're gonna be possibly camping there at the track.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be, and hopefully it'll be warm. I won't have to worry about being cold.
Well, maybe hopefully the AC works there. It's working right now. I'll say that. I'll cut your vents off.
No, don't you cut the... Oh, you can cut the vents off?
No.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, damn, I done missed that one too.
Gary's going with Kurt Busch at Dover. That's actually not a bad one either. Kurt ran well there last week or so.
Hey, Gary. Why are you going with Kurt?
Mark's going with Truex. Hell, you can't go wrong with... Dude, that dude has been on point since I thought they would skip a beat coming from Chevrolet going to Toyota, but those guys have picked up.
Oh, yeah. You think about the what they've gained by moving over with Gibbs, and look at how the Gibbs cars are, and there's no difference in their car and the Gibbs cars.
No.
At all.
Clayton is going with the 20.
the 20th. Matt Kansas. Yeah,
Matt DeBrat.
That'll work for you, man. That'll work for you. All right, everybody. We're going to see you next week. Don't have anything set up yet for next week. Got a couple people that are interested in being here with us next week. But we'll see what happens. And y'all go out and have a good week. And we'll talk to you next Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.